Do you like this dress? Because I think the neckline's a little plunging.
Rayon, the whole purpose of this study is to determine if ACT is helping people.
Come on, Evie, you know there ain't no helping me.
That doesn't mean I'm gonna stop trying.
Why are you so good to me?
Craig and Melissa, the character of Rayon, I'm curious where and when you decided to create her and why she's obviously a beautiful character and very important to the story. What was the moment of her genesis? And she's a beautiful creation, but I'm curious how you came about finding her.
Well, we had spoken to a lot of different people involved in the epidemic. And then when we looked at Ron's character, we just thought that you had to have a character who was kind of, an amazing foil to Ron, and who was the great heart of the movie, the heart and soul of the film. And we wanted a character that put everything that Ron was afraid of in his face. So we just thought, if it was a gay man, you can look away. But if it's Rayon, you really can't look away. And he's such a great character because he's such an outsider and he's so broken, but yet he's so strong. And he has so many, there's so many amazing moments with him where you're just like, oh yes, that's what it would be like to kind of have this quiet suffering your whole life.
God, when I meet you, I'm gonna be pretty. If it's the last thing I do.
Jared, there's one of the beautiful things about your performance, about the character, is what it isn't. That it's not kind of typically how this character, somebody who is transgendered or transsexual, is portrayed on screen. I'm curious, in talking to people who might have had gender reassignment or transsexual people, what did you take away from your meetings with them, and what were the kinds of things that were really important to you in terms of their integrity that you wanted to preserve in your performance?
So the beginning for me was meeting with transgender people, and when you are a transgender person, you become an investigator. You're searching for who you really are, who you dream to be, right? So you kind of have something in common with an actor or a writer or a producer, right? You're looking for identity. You're looking for the story of your life, I suppose. So when I met with people, they were incredibly generous and open. I also think in that world it's very common for people to have mentors who guide them through that process. But we talked about things, everything from the voice, and not just the dialect, because the regional aspect or nature of the character, but the register as well. And we talked about some of the classic mistakes that people make. Talked about walking in heels. And, it certainly gave me a lot of respect for people who choose to live their life as they dream it, not necessarily their life as it was handed to them. And, that's a nice thing to be reminded of.